Hello beautiful souls, day 171. Today's topic, when rest calls, answer. How many of us are willing to truly allow ourselves to rest? I know that this is not something that within the confines of my limited self, within the grid of my distorted identity, resting has no place in that. And as I have been journeying through and navigating the frequency of self-responsibility, frequency of truth, the embodiment of my own medicine, the work that I am bringing to others, I've been ignoring the call to rest. And I have done so for a very, very, very long time. I have had periods of doing nothing, but I was not resting. I never actually gave myself the permission to mentally and emotionally rest. Meaning, even though I was doing nothing, my mind was trying to figure out what to do next, figure out how I can make things happen. All of the things that we all know. There was no true resting being done. So much of my life has shifted in the last couple of months in ways that I have always wanted to and yet never expected it to. And this requires, and this was brought to my attention the other day and then again today in a wonderful mastermind that I'm in with two amazing women who know me very well, reminding me that I have been making so many big moves in my life and that a time of rest is required so that the calibration, the getting used to say it very simply, is needed. That I'm in another phase of winter, I'm in another phase of being in the, catalyst is not the word, the thing, that I'm in the goo in a certain way, that my system, my body, in her wisdom has been calling me to rest, and I have been ignoring that. Not giving myself truly the space to let go of all that is no longer here or needed or required, and to allow the newness, the freshness, the truth to have the space to come alive in me properly. And I've really been resisting this whisper, this urge to rest. And the reason, or one of the reasons, is the continual thought worm of, and the distorted frequency, this grid of distortion, saying to me, you're not far along enough yet to rest. You cannot rest until. And how many of us can resonate with that? We convince ourselves we don't have permission to rest because of X, Y, and Z. I am on a personal mission, a personal journey. I feel like I've said that too many times already, but of really sitting back into the truth of my soul and releasing letting go, collapsing, giving back the limitations, the distortions, the untruths, the falsehoods that have kept me caged in. And what I haven't realized is there's been this really big holding of self in not allowing me to rest. As I'm saying this, part of me is saying, I don't know how to rest. I don't know how to put things down. But I'm going to find out. And in our mastermind call today, through one of the women sharing something else, it was, the words came to me, it's rest in grace. Rest in the holding of God. Rest in the frequency of the whole universe. To give up control, if only for a little while. To put the weight on our shoulders down and to allow ourselves simply to be held in grace. And so that is what I'm going to do. I've been toying with the idea of pausing the live challenge. But what I would love to experience is, what is it going to be like to still do these lives from a place of rest? An active, conscious choosing of the rest frequency. Because I did try to do this last week or a couple of weeks ago, but I did so unknowingly, in the thought process, in the distorted frequency of I should rest. And so I didn't, and I felt guilty because of all I didn't do and I could or should have been doing. I want to find out what it is like to give myself rest, to allow the fullness and the grace of rest frequency to just be how I move through a day for a few days. And so starting tomorrow till Sunday, maybe Monday, I am choosing to rest. I had said in a live or in something I wrote a couple of weeks ago sometime, where I spoke about the foundations and the original structures of this business. It was required for them to be collapsed, to be removed, to be deleted. And what I haven't and didn't realize is that with that, rest is needed. Rest into my being, rest into the silence, rest into fun, rest into ease, rest into connection, rest into relationship, rest into God. And so that is what I am gifting myself for the next number of days. I've spoken about self-responsibility. To be responsible for self, as I'm finally realizing, is also being responsible for our rest, responsible for our body, this sacred, divine physicality of who it is that we are, so that she has the space to move. And I know I'll move my body, like in yesterday's live where I spoke about spending time every day just moving your body freely, allowing her to move. When we get so caught up in everything that needs to be done and trying to make it happen, all of these things, she gets so tight, so constricted, because she's trying to carry everything. We're trying to carry everything. But in this portal of rest now, I will contemplate, I will write all that I am ready to put down and let go of, and choose what it is that I am continuing to carry forward or bring forward. And likely move through moments of discomfort. So it feels right to continue my commitment to myself, to discover who I become along the way, to continue doing the lives over these days. If that changes, then I will follow through on that. But what would it be like to show up in a frequency of rest? How will my voice change? How will my words differ? How will what wants to be spoken through me shift? I want to find out. I want to know what it feels like to rest. And to come back from that rejuvenated. Come back from that undefined even more with all I am choosing to collapse and put down in these days. And to simply breathe, because we get to. And I will say, my mind is not a happy camper. And yet there's a part of it that is. The true human self that knows she is here for greatness is good with that. It's the distorted one that is connected too much to the external world for validation, too much to the quote-unquote successes or not successes that she perceives. That is not okay. We cannot keep pushing. I cannot keep pushing in the way I have been, because energetically it's not aligned with who I am. It's not aligned with my truth. It's not aligned with my work, and it's not aligned with my medicine. And if I am going to be the embodiment and the transmission of my medicine, of my work, then I need to do so fully and completely. And so I'm going to rest. The doors for Redefined are still open. They're going to remain open. If it's something you want to speak to me about, I will still be available. If you want to apply for this 6-week one-to-one journey together of you remembering who it is that you are, literally remembering and collapsing and deleting and letting go of the distortion and the grids that have been placed around your magnificence. And to do that in a place of conversation, in a place of contemplation, in a place of me mirroring back to you your magnificence and your greatness, then please do reach out. It is here. It's 6 weeks, one-to-one, €999. There is a bonus, the word's not coming to my mind now. There's a bonus session at the end, kind of like a rite of passage of you having truly remembered yourself, having come home to the truth of who it is that you are, and allowing yourself to move forward from that place of the rite of passage. Ceremony is the word I was looking for. And there is support the whole way through on Telegram for that as well. We are humans, and we are souls, and we are coming together in a really beautiful way. How we are doing things are shifting because how we are being is coming home. And I'm so grateful to be in a position to be able to walk with others, guide others, and be with others in their process of doing that as I am doing it myself and as I am being held and guided by others. Not held, but guided, supported with others. That is it for today. I will see you tomorrow at some stage from, and I think it's already began, from my portal of rest, from the frequency of rest and resting in grace in that process. I'll see you tomorrow.